Hang on tight, country music lovers. We are cranking up the country music time machine and celebrating the decades of country music history. Please like us, subscribe, and share the video everywhere. Today, we head back to 1967. The big headlines in 1967 include Mr. Thurgood Marshall becoming the first black Supreme Court justice.
Historians will note this hour at the White House. In a Rose Garden ceremony, a 58-year-old great-grandson of a slave is nominated by President Johnson to be a Supreme Court justice. He is Solicitor General Thurgood Marshall, acknowledged the best-known Negro lawyer of the century.
Some sad news, the Apollo 1 was destroyed in a fire on the launch pad.
This is Mike Wallace at the CBS Newsroom in New York. America's first 3 Apollo astronauts were trapped and killed by a flash fire that swept their moonship early tonight during a launch pad test at Cape Kennedy in Florida. Virgil Gus Grissom, Edward White, 36 years old, and rookie astronaut Roger Chaffee, 31 years old, training for his first space flight, Apollo 1, scheduled for February 21st.
Dr. James H. Bedford became the first person to be cryonically preserved after his death in January of '67. And as of right now, Dr. Bedford is still frozen, and we have not figured yet how to wake him up.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
In 1967, you could take your instant pictures on your brand new Polaroid camera for about $50. If you could afford it in 1967, 1 ounce of gold was a bargain at about $35 an ounce. Today's price for 1 ounce of gold, around $2,000. The average movie ticket in 1967 was $1.25, and you were probably watching Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate.
So?
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. Aren't you?
In 1967, everybody was nipping it in the bud and watching The Andy Griffith Show.
It's got to stop right now. Nip it in the bud.
What in the bud?
You and Jeff, that's what. Nip it. Tell him you're mine.
Barney Fife, I do believe you're jealous.
Doggone Thelma Lou, you're my girl, ain't you?
Of course I am.
All right, then, nip it.
I say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud.
1967 was an amazing year for country music. The Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum opens in Nashville, and that year we saw the late Jim Reeves being inducted. The CMA held their first award show in 1967. Among the future famous born in '67 were the late Troy Gentry of the Montgomery Gentry fame, and the singing-acting duo of Tim McGraw and Faith Hill were born in 1967. More than 20 songs made it to the #1 spot on the country charts. Here are some of those.
I'd like to settle down, but they won't let me. A fugitive must be a rolling stone.
A liquor and love, they just don't mix. Leave the bottle or me behind. And don't come home but drinking with lovers on your mind.
Walk through this world with me. Go where I go. Share all the dream with me. I need your soul.
I don't wanna play house. I know it can't be fun. I've watched Mommy and Daddy, and if that's the way it's done, I don't wanna play house. It makes my mommy cry. 'Cause when she played house, my daddy said goodbye.
And Billboard's #1 song of 1967 belongs to Jack Greene.
All the time, yes, darling, all the time, tenderly, constantly,
that's all for the Country Music Time Machine in 1967. Next time, we'll head back to the crazy year of 1968. But it was a great year for country music. We all head to prison with Johnny Cash. We will stand by Tammy Wynette and work the lines with Glenn Campbell. So we'll see you again in 1968.